Who would have thought that a single step, yes, just one graceful, confident stride could shake the very foundation of America's elite fashion industry? That's exactly what happened when BTS's Jungkook appeared on the global stage recently, turning heads not only with his unmatched visuals, but also with a walk so powerful, so captivating, that even the richest fashion empires in the United States couldn't look away. What made this simple moment explode into a million-dollar bidding war? And why is every fashion mogul now desperately trying to tie their brand to the name Jungkook? It all started on what seemed to be just another high-profile international fashion event. Attendees were expecting extravagance, celebrities, and cameras flashing. But nothing prepared them for the spellbinding entrance of Jungkook. Dressed in a minimalist black ensemble with sharp cuts, his presence alone quieted the entire venue. The moment he walked the runway, not as a model, but simply as a guest arriving, the energy shifted. His every step was laced with precision, his posture effortlessly flawless, and his eyes commanding. It wasn't just fashion, it was domination. What followed was nothing short of chaos in the upper circles of American luxury. Within mere hours, executives from the most iconic fashion houses, names that have dominated New York fashion week for decades, were scrambling for emergency meetings. Their boardrooms echoed with urgency. We need Jungkook. No matter the cost. Whispers flew faster than ever across Manhattan's skyscrapers. Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, Tom Ford, and even the hyper-exclusive couture arm of LVMH USA were rumored to have prepared multi-million-dollar contracts. Not for a runway walk, not even for a product line, but simply for the right to use Jungkook's likeness, his posture, his gait, the very aura that captivated the world for their next season's concept. One insider close to a high-level fashion marketing team in Los Angeles reportedly stated, "We've worked with models who are trained to perfection, but what Jungkook has, it can't be taught. It's instinctive. It's raw star power. He doesn't just wear fashion, he redefines it." Photos and videos of his walk flooded the internet within hours, and fans, critics, and designers alike were left stunned. Some called it cinematic, others labeled it otherworldly. But the most striking reaction came from a globally renowned fashion director who admitted, "I've never seen someone who could make the floor itself feel lucky to be stepped on." Suddenly, every editor-in-chief, from Vogue to Harper's Bazaar, every stylist with influence, and every brand executive with a vision was united in one belief. Jungkook was no longer just a pop icon. He was the future of fashion storytelling. But why now? Why this moment? Some speculate that Jungkook's recent shifts in aesthetic, leaning into sleek, daring, and minimalist high fashion, were subtle signals. Perhaps he was testing the waters, sending feelers to the fashion world to see if they would notice. And they did. In fact, they didn't just notice. They fell to their knees. Sources claim that several U.S. fashion powerhouses even went so far as to revise their entire seasonal lineup to make room for a Jungkook concept series, a move unheard of in an industry where plans are usually locked months in advance. Even more shocking? Allegedly, two rival fashion conglomerates offered to co-finance a new campaign together, just for the chance to feature Jungkook as the sole visual narrative of a cross-branded release. This has never happened before. Brands that were once fierce competitors now whisper the same, name in unison, Jungkook. And then came the million-dollar question. Will Jungkook accept any of these offers? For weeks now, Big Hit and Hybe have remained tight-lipped. But fans across the globe have been decoding every post, every movement, and even every emoji in Jungkook's recent uploads. Is that leather jacket from a new partnership? Is the monochrome look a teaser for a Calvin Klein redux? Could the silver chain bracelet be a quiet nod to an upcoming jewelry collab? The world doesn't have answers yet. But what it does have is one undeniable truth. Jungkook's walk didn't just turn heads. It turned an entire industry upside down. Fashion analysts now predict a Jungkook effect wave, the rise of campaigns centered not on clothing, but on the feeling evoked by presence. Designers are reworking their 2026 portfolios with emotional impact as their new cornerstone, driven by the realization that personality and poise are more bankable than any fabric or silhouette. Meanwhile, American fashion schools are already discussing integrating K-pop cultural influence into their curriculum next semester, using Jungkook's recent appearance as the case study of how one man reshaped the marketing blueprint of Western luxury. And let's not forget ARMY, the heartbeat behind every Jungkook movement. They've flooded social media, not just with admiration but with creative fan campaigns, urging brands to respect Jungkook's value. Their message? If you want him, treat him like the legend he is. Speculation continues to rise. Will Jungkook break his silence and announce a collaboration with one of these fashion giants? Or is he crafting something even bolder, a new label? Perhaps where he calls the shots? Until then, the world waits. Fashion waits. The billion-dollar brands wait. Because when Jungkook walks, the world doesn't just watch, it follows. But even with the fashion world on its knees, begging for a moment of Jungkook's time, the global superstar remains silent, strategically silent. That silence has only fueled the frenzy. Every minute he doesn't respond becomes another hour where the mystery deepens and the anticipation builds. Some insiders claim that this very silence is a masterstroke of brand control, proof that Jungkook understands his worth more than anyone else. A recent anonymous leak from an executive at one of the Big Five American fashion conglomerates revealed a shocking admission. We're not just bidding for his face, we're bidding for access to the mind behind it. Jungkook has a vision, and we're desperate to align with it before someone else does. What does that even mean? Is Jungkook planning to launch his own fashion empire? Is he gathering inspiration before creating a signature line that will disrupt the global fashion ecosystem? Or is he simply playing chess while the rest of the industry is stuck playing checkers? In Korea, whispers have grown louder that HYBE might be building a luxury sub-brand specifically tailored for Jungkook, one that fuses Seoul's cutting-edge street culture with Western haute couture. Imagine a world where Jungkook isn't just the face of fashion, but the voice behind its future. Meanwhile, American media can't get enough. Major entertainment outlets have been dissecting his walk frame by frame, calling it flawless, weightless, and the kind of stride that speaks louder than any runway speech. Some even compared his presence to legendary fashion muses of the past. Grace Jones, David Bowie, and Princess Diana, all wrapped into one modern figure who transcends boundaries of gender, age, and culture. But what's even more unbelievable is what happened off-camera. Backstage after his earth-shaking arrival, it's reported that Jungkook was approached privately by not one, not two, but 7 different representatives, each carrying exclusive proposals in sealed, gold-trimmed folders. They weren't just contracts. They were invitations to rewrite fashion history. One offer even allegedly proposed a joint capsule collection with a legendary designer who hasn't released anything new in over a decade. The fact that such a reclusive icon would come out of retirement just to work with Jungkook, that says everything. The streets of Los Angeles, New York, and even Paris have since exploded with Jungkook-inspired looks. Fashion influencers on TikTok and Instagram are emulating his posture, his gaze, and even the subtle tension in his shoulders when he walks. Streetwear brands are already releasing unofficial JK cut jackets and Golden Gate sneakers, named after the now iconic way he carried himself through that fateful fashion venue. And yet, through all this madness, Jungkook hasn't changed his rhythm. He hasn't posted a gloating selfie. He hasn't dropped a cryptic caption. He hasn't even acknowledged the millions of eyes tracking his every move. Because he doesn't need to. His presence alone is speaking louder than any press release could. Fashion psychologists, yes, that's a real profession now, have stepped in to decode the phenomenon. According to one expert from a prestigious New York institute, Jungkook triggers something primal in viewers. Confidence without arrogance, strength without intimidation,